Oh, I get to see the new house, huh?
Yeah. Well, a window of it.
How's the new house?
Good.
Right.
It's got some old wallpaper that needs to come down, but it's getting there.
At least there's no water in the basement, hopefully.
Yes. Somehow it's very waterproof. So that's good because this storm would have done it.
You would have been doing some bailing.
Yeah, exactly. All right. See if I remember how to do this. There's our
Maddie's here.
Hey.
Hi, Maddie.
How are you guys?
All right. So you guys just go ahead and ask questions to Maddie. Begin.
Hey, Maddie, going back to Friday, John said that after the second set, Lauren Stivrins did a lot of the talking in the locker room before the third set. I guess what do you think of that when Lauren kind of takes control there, I guess?
Lauren is a very consistent player, and we have a really high level of respect for her, like obviously as our captain and as being an upperclassman. And the feedback that she normally gives the team is like we can control a lot of things. And in that first match on Friday night, in the first two sets, there were a lot of things that we need to control on our side that they weren't doing, that we just needed to pick up for us to be more successful. And so generally she just is like, let's hold each other accountable. Let's work towards the things that we know we can control.
Does it impact the players differently when the message comes from a teammate, as opposed to a coach?
Yeah, obviously, like we try to work on having like a player-driven culture, and that makes us more successful. When it comes from coach, obviously it carries a lot of weight, but coming from each other, there's a certain accountability level that just means a lot. And we want to play for the person next to us. And when it comes from her, it means a lot.
Just what stands out to you about Lauren as a leader and what this team means to her, I guess?
Yeah, I guess Lauren knows how to win, and Lauren has set a great example for us and how to be tough in the tight plays, and how to be consistent. And I think that she's just a great example and someone that we can look up to and work towards playing like as a team, and just stay with that.
One of the things Lexi talked about after Saturday's match was how there was times where y'all lost focus and just kind of level of play kind of dipped with that too. Is that something that you're aware of in the moment, or something you look back saying, oh, that maybe is why things went astray a little bit at times?
I would say just as a team, we need to work on maintaining focus throughout. A 5-set match is a long time, and I think just as a team we need to work on that. That's something that I think shows from practice. There are moments in practice when we have those like lapses of focus, and like our level of play can drop. And I think we just need to continue working on being able to maintain that over a long match.
What's an indicator that something that happens that shows that focus is dipping maybe?
I think communication is the first thing that goes for us. If there is a lapse of focus, whether it be seam work on serve receive or a free ball that just gets miscommunicated because people are out of position. So I think we just need to have attention to detail every single play and be able to maintain that consistently.
Maddie, how is the season going for you? How would you evaluate your play through the first half of the season?
I think it's going all right. I've been working really, really hard on being external and working on stepping into a leadership role. I think Kenzie and I last year, like being the freshman that played, we were just kind of like trying to figure out how it worked and how we needed to contribute and like be who we were on the court. And I think this year, like I've been able to step into a little bit more of a leadership role and like get my feet under myself and yeah, just work towards that and being a great teammate.
When you look back at it, when did the newness of playing college volleyball wear off for you? I don't know if it was last year at some point or maybe the transition into your sophomore season. When would you say that happened?
I don't know if there's a specific time I can pinpoint. I think it's kind of just been like a progression over the last 2 years of just like figuring out what it looks like to be a Nebraska volleyball player and figuring out what it looks like to win as Nebraska. And yeah, I guess I can't pinpoint a specific time. I guess it's like every single day in practice, there's growth that happens.
From an on-court perspective, Maddie, where do you feel like you've made maybe the biggest step, especially considering the extended offseason that you guys had?
I focused a ton on blocking over the off season, and Tyler Hildebrand he's awesome. Just really focusing on like the process and not being super result based. And so just working on more like the long run of being a great blocker instead of like the short term, I guess. And he's just awesome about like teaching us different ways and like different keywords that like click with each person, because obviously not every single player is coached the same. And so just like being patient with that and continuing to grow in the area has been huge.
Maddie, you were talking about blocking being something you focus on the off season. Is there something that is something you have to focus on every game? Is passing something you have to give all your attention to? And what are you focused on most during the matches?
I would say I'm honestly been working more on mindset stuff. Like coach always talks about trusting our training. And so I think like that's a huge thing that I try to go into the matches and think about, okay, today I'm going to trust my training. I've worked really hard. I've put in all the reps. Like this last week, we were well prepared to be able to play our best volleyball. And so I think just more working on the mindset side of it as well.
Do you have personal keywords that you give yourself for those mindsets of, you know, before the serve comes or before you serve the ball that you say in your own head?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different for each area of the game. For passing, I generally go to simple because I feel like when I'm playing in that way, normally there's a better outcome. Serving, try and take a deep breath. Coach always talks about how having a serve routine is really important to be able to do that in the tough moments when it's 13-13 in the fifth or whatever the time is. And for attacking, I would say edges. That's something we really worked on in the off season, and being able to manage and go edges when the ball isn't perfect, when we're not perfectly in system, and still score.
You guys have played both matches in a week in the same place all season long. This week is the home and home. Kind of how do you guys approach that differently, that you'll be having a little bit of travel this week and playing in two different gyms?
Yeah, I guess we haven't come across that this season yet. It might even feel a little bit more normal because it kind of is more like last season, I guess. I think just going into it and not underestimating anyone and knowing that everyone will play their best match against us, and focusing on our side and just being able to do that consistently.
Are you going to be able to have some family there on Wednesday?
Yes, I am. My whole family will be able to be there, and my grandparents are coming for the game. So I'm pretty excited.
You've been playing these matches for about 2 months now. Are you getting more used to playing in empty gyms? What is the acclimation process like 2 months in?
I don't think it ever feels any more regular. I guess like I just feel like I miss playing in Devaney when it feels like Devaney. But I think like we've got better as a team, just like being able to bring that our own energy and recognizing that we're not going to get it from 8,000 fans. So I think we have done some acclimating, but it still doesn't feel normal.
What about those away matches? You aren't having those thousands of fans cheering against you. Is that different, or how do you get used to that?
I think like for us just this year, we've been really focusing on our side. And so I think I've never personally felt like a team cheering against you or cheering for you. Like, I kind of think it all just sounds like cheering. But I guess just like really focusing on our side and bringing our own energy and yeah, just getting used to that.
And you said earlier that one of the things that you've been working on is being more a leader. What does that look like to you? How are you trying to live that?
Yeah, I've been working a lot on just like finding where I can be a leader and like finding different like times, and like obviously with like Lexi and I and Nicklin and Kenzie are like the people that are on the court for 6 rotations. So when Lauren isn't on the court or like Nicklin does a double sub, there's like our 2 captains are on the floor. So just like looking for those opportunities to like just like, hey guys, we can do this, we've got this. I kind of steady the boat and just like look for those opportunities, I guess.
All right. Maddie, thank you for joining us. She has to get off to class. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maddie.
And if you guys didn't see my email, Coach Cook will be at 1 o'clock today now instead of 11.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.